Hello, what's up you guys? I hope you're doing great. I sure am, as usual, or yeah, almost as usual. And this is my how to properly correctly set up your steering wheel force feedback, mainly force feedback settings for Assetto Corsa, the best racing simulator, I think. However, yeah, this is how you do it. But before we start, I just want to show you this video here. This is, by the way, not in 60 FPS, but in the official video, or the real video which will come out after this video. I will try and upload it in 60 FPS, and I will display the FPS settings up here, because I know some of you guys have requested that, so I make that happen. You know, if you have any requests or want to leave feedback, please do, and I will try and correct myself on my videos after them, so they will be as enjoyable as possible. And so yeah, in this video I will drift on this server on the new Ibusi track, which is more like the real one, I think. I don't know if it's this one or if it's just up to the old one. However, it's with this BBD guys. I know they're like from some odd country, they don't even speak English, or some of them do, but yeah, it was pretty awesome. I managed to drift some with the server owner here, which is right here, and yeah, it was great fun. Anyway, so this is how you do it. You put your mouse to the right here to get the app menu in game, and then you take out your pedals app. But this don't want to do this first. This is after you have copied all of my settings, and then you take out this pedal app, and you want to make sure that this gray line right here never turns red, or it should maybe when you hit a bump or something it might turn red. But yeah, that in that case, that means if it turns red when you hit a bump, it means those force feedback settings, which are set to when you hit a bump, they are too hard, and I think mine are, because sometimes when I hit a bump this turns red, so I think I need to turn them down. So yeah, you want to keep it where it's exactly not turning red. And as you see here now, these are my current settings. I think it will ever turn red. And also I noticed this might be different from car to car, because you have your pit settings before you start the race. You click here on start race, and you can go on the wrench tool, and you can go in and change the car settings. There you have also force feedback settings for that specific car, and those might be different. But yeah, as you saw there, maybe it was like just below the max here. If you want, we can check this out again, and you can see how my steering wheel reacts as well. And as it's really smooth and fast. I sometimes go with my hand over like that, but that's just for control. I don't help the force feedback anything at all. Never have to do that almost with this wheel. Maybe with the G27 though, I used to do that a lot. Like push the steering wheel to make it turn faster. But this one is so fast that you don't have to do that. Anyway, as you see, it's really smooth, and it's a lot better from all of my other videos. I noticed a huge difference with these settings, and actually I would say I'm a lot better at drifting with these settings. It's a lot smoother. I don't have to put that much effort and concentration into it anymore. I just kind of feel the force feedback and drift after the force feedback somehow. I don't know, it's hard to explain. So what you do is firstly you need to get your software for your steering wheel, and you open up its settings, and once you're in here you select your steering wheel degree ratio. This you can do in game as well, but you always do it here. I mean, you minimize the game and you go in here to change it. In the game it should be down to the bottom, but I will show you that. So here you can have 720, or if you're a newbie, maybe 580, 480, I don't know, and then you just pull it up to 720, which is like 720, 900 are like the standards for drifting. And for some very odd cars you might want to have it at 1080 if you got the t500 RS. But still, I would still go with 900 because it's too complicated. I'm used to 900, which is I think standard for also real life cars, I don't know. Anyway, choose your steering wheel degree, go into game settings, put everything to default, and change your overall strength of forces to, for the T500rs, about 50%. And this you might want to change a little bit higher on the G27 and weaker wheels. But yeah, you know, I will get to this later in the game too. So everything on default except this master gain settings, overall strength of all forces, and every single wheel has one of these control panels, and every single wheel should have a slider for the overall strength. So change that to 50 and keep everything else at default, because this should be changed by game, I think. I don't know. You might want to experiment with these if you want, but I just keep them at 100%. I'm fine with that. It feels perfectly fine. And as you can tell, also later on by the end of this video, I will show you some drifting, and I will be quiet so you can just sit back and enjoy. On, I think, Dragon Range Online. It's a hill climb or a downhill map, which is a fantasy track, pretty darn awesome. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Anyway, you go into your main menu here now, and your settings and controls, of course, and basically just copy my settings. I have two presets here, but yeah, this is also a great tip. If you want to have a preset for one for drift or one for racing, make sure you know what you're doing down here, because I have my drift loaded or my race loaded, and then I select the other one, and instead of clicking load I accidentally click save, and then I overwrite the old one, which is really annoying, and I'll lose my settings. So make sure you click on the correct one here. So yeah, let's go with the drift one, and you press here and you turn your wheel a little bit and it recognizes it, and you should have your degrees of rotation down to the bottom, because again that is what you change down here. This is where you change your steering degree, or where I change it. I think it's the best. And this your throttle. By the way, I have a little tip for you who have problems with the clutch. Maybe you are missing the gears a lot. What I would recommend then is turning this down. So if you turn that down, your clutch will engage more quickly. As you see now, I will push it halfway. Oops, I had to calibrate it first. There we go, now it's calibrated. That's all the way down, and this is halfway, and it is nothing. So it will be engaged around here somewhere, around there, instead of down here, which it is at 100%. And also this together with the gear shifty bouncing. If you I don't know how that worked, but you can Google gear shifty bouncing if you're having real troubles with shifting gears and you usually don't get the gear in properly. And the handbrake, if you have a separate handbrake connected to USB, or I don't know, maybe your wheel has some special sort of handbrake access. This can also be like applied to like a clutch axis or something. Like if you buy a pedal set, maybe you can convert that into a handbrake, I don't know. Anyway, in that case you just set that here, and of course these should be inverted. For me, I don't know how they are for you, but otherwise it will be like that, and when I push it down it will go off instead of like it should be like now. When I push it down it goes on. Alright, so that's that. And here, this is pretty good information. If I load my race now I have these two my pedal, as you hear, and now I don't, because you know I'm all about that. I'm sorry, I hate that song, by the way. Handbrake, it's set to the right pedal shifter. As some of you might have noticed, I noticed a lot of you guys question me in the comments where I put my handbrake. And as you see now, yeah, it's on the right pedal shift, and I also answered you, but yeah. and that is very nice because you want to have your handbrake as much as like in a real life drift car as possible, and they usually have a handbrake. If they have a heavily modified car, they have it like just like beside the pedal shifter there, like Ken Block's car. He has a sequential shifter lever, and then he has a handbrake lever right beside of that, almost like I have, so it's very easy to reach, and it's on the right hand side because that's usually where all the gear shifts and the handbrake stuff all are. So you want to have that because handbrake is extremely important while drifting. Without handbrake you can't drift properly, which you will notice later on also when I show you at the end of this video. I will use the handbrake a lot. And yeah, basically as I said in my how to drift video, which is in the description by the way, if you want to check that out, is when you like you can't make the drift, you have too much power, so if you put more power you will crash by the end, and if you lose power you will crash or you will go off onto the grass. Then you pull the handbrake to make the car just slide, but it won't increase in speed, but it will slide more straight, you know. So yeah, that's, and handbrake is also extremely important when you're tandeming or twin drifting. So yeah, if you watch my other videos while tandeming, or my newer one which will come out real soon after this, you will notice I use the handbrake all the time. So yeah, make sure you have a good handbrake, preferably on your right hand side and easy to reach. So that's the reason why I can't have my gear shift up and down on the pedal shifters as well. Right, moving on here to advanced, and here's where the magic happens. You want to have your gain at 50%. I know it's 50-50, right? In the control panel here, I put it at 50 as well. And this is where it gets interesting. If you require later on, when you're tweaking with the pedal app, which I will show you, if you turn out to need to having 100%, maybe have a driving force GT wheel or something, and you still have this at 50 and that at 100, but the pedal app still won't turn red. It won't clip. Of course, if it's just below clipping, then it's good, you're fine. But if it still doesn't do that, you can start increasing with this one as well. And maybe, I don't know, you have to experiment what feels best. Maybe you should have 70-70 or 40-40. I don't know, if you have an even stronger wheel than the T500rs. But for the T500rs, 50-50 is perfectly fine. And then you can change, like for example here on the race, I would recommend, instead of changing it here, change it here to maybe 60 to have that stronger feeling when you're racing. Because when you're drifting you want to be able to turn the wheel a lot and easy without force, so you won't get too tired too quickly. So yeah, I have, as you see here on the race, I have changed it here just because it's easier. I don't have to open up the control panel. However, that's a little bit too complicated. You shouldn't mind that too much. Just if you have like me two presets here, just change it here. I think it's fine. So with the drift now, I think you should turn down this a little bit more, because as you noticed there maybe in the video, or as I've noticed, it turns out to be clipping when I hit the curbs and not really the roads. I think that's I don't know what it was. I think I was 80 right. Let's put it at 75. There are slip effects. I like it at like 11%. I like the low because it feels like it's disturbing me when it's like shaking all the time and I'm trying to correct my counter steers while drifting. So in race, and don't press the wrong button again. In race you have these settings, and turn this down a little bit just to avoid some clipping there. Maybe a little more as this is raised. And the damping, I have actually put it at 1%. I don't know why. And the damping sort of like dampens the whole force feedback settings, like all of them. So so it makes for a smoother wheel, especially on the straights, so that when you release the wheel it won't like shake and then you will lose control. But they've corrected that with the new updates, I think. Now it doesn't shake anymore, especially not with these settings where it avoids clipping, so the steering wheel won't get confused. Anyway, yeah, that's basically those settings. Now you're basically good to go. All you need to do is go into the game, in which I will show you, and try it out for yourself to see that it's absolutely correctly feels good. And I will, if you stick around and watch a little bit more now, you can see my settings here, by the way. And yeah, then you can, if you stick around, you can see my how you do in the game as well. And if you have lag, turn this down, turn that down, turn this off, turn that down. This you want to turn off, maybe turn off these. And vertical sync, I think that's awkward. I don't know, it makes my game lag. I feel like it's stuttering, so I have turned that off. And this should be off, because I want to maximize my FPS. And yeah, I think with the new updates, it's a lot better. I couldn't have these settings before, especially not while driving in multiplayer, but now I can. And even though I have my smoke mode, which you will notice, I had no lag at all. Before I used to lag a lot when there was a lot of smoke, but with my new smoke mode, I've like tweaked it a little bit so it won't lag so much. Download link, of course, in the description below, by the way. So yeah, now it's pretty awesome. And my other settings here, if you want to see, just see like what I have. I don't know, maybe you have a question, and instead of me answering now, you can see everything here. So let's go. Oh, and now yeah, they have made a new mods called SP Mod Beta. I will provide a download link in my new video for that. They have so many awesome cars. It's pretty darn amazing. For example, this one, 180XX. And yeah, so you want to drift, you would like probably to have a drift car, preferably. So you want to download them, preferably, because it's so awesome and a lot easier to drift with. But you know, you have, of course, you have those awesome original BMWs and stuff. This one, you can click this button and you can change it to the drift setup, which is really awesome. You can also do that with this. Click that button, change it to the drift setup, and well, yeah, sure. You can also, drift with the. Why is it not coming up? There, you can also drift with this one, for example, even though it doesn't have any drift setup, but then you basically have to tweak the setups a lot. If you want to drift with this car, I have a video on that and exactly how to tweak just this car. Just search in YouTube broburga prof CTR and you will find it. Anyway, we got our car here, right? The 180XX Sexy. Change the what is it displaying? Oh, let's go with fail crew. Although we're really not feeling. Okay, so as you see, I have everything turned off. Some of these things are help or aid stuff, some of them are not, like this mechanical damage. I've turned it off. I know. This one too, and this one. So those are not aids, those are to make it more difficult. These three here, all of the other stuff are aids. Fuel consumption on online servers, they usually have that turned on. So be sure you have enough fuel sometimes on online servers, because it's pretty darn awkward doing those tandems. And then out of nowhere your your car just stalls and you crash into everybody. That happened to me once, and it was really awkward, I must say. Okay, anyway, so here we are now, finally. By the way, this is my second time making this video, so it's really awkward. Oh my god, that was so annoying. This part didn't save. You know, when I entered the game, my recording device starts a new recording, and somehow it just didn't start recording, although it should. So now I've manually started it. I'm sure it's going to be saved finally. Darn, there's a lot of work into these videos, man. Better push that like button, you guys. Yeah, anyway, moving on here. So if you want to make a custom, of course this car has a perfectly fine original setup here. This is just great. But if you want to edit it and you want to save it to be able to load it again, make sure you press generic first and then you save, and it will be saved here. Or you just you just save wherever and then you push generic and you press last. And you push load and it will load your last setup, I think. So yeah, this you might want to increase if you're having trouble getting the gears to power the whole car. I don't know. Make sure you don't increase it too much. This might be too much. Just like one plus there, I think it's enough in that case. Tires, you want to have street all the time on every car if you want to drift. If it's semi-slicks or slicks, man, you're gonna have trouble. Or if it's street 90s, yeah, you're probably gonna have trouble too. Street 90s. On some cars though, it might work pretty good, but I think they're just too slippery. And to increase oversteer, by the way, oversteer is when the car is drifting, it starts drifting, that's called oversteer, when it starts to spin around. Understeer is when you're steering, but the car won't turn at all, it just goes straight. So now that we got that out of the way, increase this for a little bit more oversteer, both sides of course, if you want that, maybe for the rough CTR there which I showed, maybe for example. And of course the fuel, you want to have that as low as possible, but again, you don't want to run out either. Alignment, this is really complicated. I wish I knew what all of these meant, but I don't, I'm sorry, I don't know. What I do know though is that they play a big part in drifting, especially these rear cameras or 10 toes, because that's where all the stuff happens on the rear axle. But again, this is already made for this car, so it's fine. Although if you're on the rough seat there, you might want to decrease this, I think. I don't know, you can check out that video, which I told you earlier. And drivetrain, this is I think the most important part, except of the type of wheels. The diff power should be increased to generate oversteer. The diff coast though, I am not sure about this. You might want to Google diff coast settings drifting, maybe, I don't know, to get a real explanation of this. But I have no clue really what this is. I know however that this is the most important. And of course if it still doesn't change, then you might want to increase this as well. You know, experimenting is key. I think that may be my new quote, broburga quote. Experimenting is key. Sorry. Oh, what is this? Engine limiter. Engine limiter action. Ooh, cool. So if I increase this, it will give more power and acceleration, but less reliability. It works under power. Now, this is not the rev limiter, it's the rev limiter action. That's interesting. So I don't think it increases the top rev limiter stoppage. Whatever. This is I'm going too deep now with information. Sorry. This suspension you don't have to worry about unless you're driving like a totally original rear wheel drive car. But I don't even think this game has any of those. Not even, I think, really hard. All of the cars in this game are sport models. The BMWs are always M Sport, M3, M5. as I want. So yeah. Otherwise, no, of course you can change this to whatever you want. Alright, so now let's get freaky. As I said earlier, I'm going to show you, just like without editing. Usually I edit my videos, edit out the bad parts, but not in this one. So now you can see how I'm like. And I'm basically going to shut up now. This is, as you see, by the way, the clutch. And this is the brake. This is the gas. This is my handbrake, which you can only hear when I'm pressing it. Sounds like that. And the right one again. This one is for the force feedback, which you see is turning up. And here you'll have that. A lot of settings and stuff there. So I'm going to, as I said, shut up now. So I'm gonna leave you with this video. Rest of this video. I hope you enjoy. Wow, this was a really cool skin, by the way. Yeah, so yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you got some help, tips and tricks. If you want more tips and tricks while drifting, make sure you check out my how to drift video if you haven't seen that. And again, don't forget to leave me feedback force feedback. I almost was about to say that about this video. What you think? By the way, now I'm not even touching the wheel, so you can see how the force feedback kind of is. So yeah, thanks again. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you all later. Slippery track, yeah, no shit. was awesome. Holy shit. I was so freaking focused right there. Oh my jeez. I would so much like to go up again. Okay, just for you guys, I'm going to go up again as well. Oh shit. Oh shit, piss. Okay, screw it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I let you down, but yeah, I could have messed that up. So this is the reason why I sometimes edit out my videos, you know. Nobody's perfect. Anyways, again, thank you a lot for watching. Take care guys, love you all. Bye bye.